start your day. Fabulously flawed, we're lighting the way. Monday to Friday, new episodes with laughter and love. Let's start the show. We're shaking things up. Don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Motivation, inspiration, and fun. Fabulously flawed, everyone. So shine a little brighter. Grab your smile and sing along. The show's about to start with Marni, your host. You can't go wrong.
Fabulously flawed friends, welcome to Fabulously Flawed. I'm your host, Marni, and it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week, guys. Yes, TGIF, say it. Thank God I'm fabulous. Wow, it's been a fast week because I was just throwing away Easter candy yesterday, but it's been a long week. One of those roller coasters of emotion kinds of week. But we made it. You made it to Friday. As crappy as your week might have been, you survived it. And today's episode I'm calling Fight for Your Fairy Tale. I did my episode yesterday and I know it was kind of zigzag. Wait, what? You met your husband, you got pregnant, you were still married, and my unhealed trauma of abandonment, especially having an affair with somebody before technology where you can text and everything and waiting to hear from somebody is what I did with my husband and my now husband. And my life could not go on if I did not hear from him. So when I preach, you got to love yourself and then somebody will find you. But I used Jay as my whole world to fill me inside. And if I didn't hear from him, I couldn't go on with my day. It was the most addictive. It was as addictive as a drug addict could be to any specific kind of drug. And the worst part is, we're going back 27 years, but when Jay would tell me some news, like he was going away with his family, but wait till the last minute, I would react because, again, unhealed trauma, had no idea how over the top that my borderline personality and the splitting that was happening from going in a split second from adoration to complete fear, anger, hatred, disgust, being triggered back to when people would leave me and my abandonment. So all of this would happen. And when Jay would tell me at the last second he's going away, and he would turn off his phone because of my reaction. And so that just added another layer to me going crazy and going insane. And when he went on a cruise, I managed to call the cruise. I don't know how I did this before Siri's help, but when I heard his wife answer, so happy, she was like, "Hello." I had a nervous breakdown, and it was just, he was on a Disney cruise with his family, and I'm like, I'm your family. I have Taylor. She was a baby. And that's when I took my first Xanax because I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Again, here is a testament to resilience because I'm here happily married. And yes, we've been married to each other 3 times. I forced him the first time to marry me. I was just, I'm either going to leave you forever or we're getting married. It was now 2003 at this point, and Taylor was 3, and it was March. And Jay had a little girl who, her name was Ashley. Well, her name is Ashley, but she hasn't been in our life in 20 something years. She loved me. When I met her when she was 4, I was like this grown-up Spice Girl to her. I didn't have children, and we all knew each other from softball. So I had this adorable relationship with Ashley. So when Jay married me the first time, she was like, "This is so cool having you as my stepmother. Like, this is just really cool," because she was like my little Ashley. I used to take her to the movies and just play dress up with her. And then after she told her mother that, I think that was one of the last times I ever saw her. Now, Jay's ex-wife was a divorce attorney and had a lot of resources and a lot of anger. And Jay was petrified, knew she would go for the jugular. I understand now why we weren't supposed to be together at the time, but we had no idea how to communicate. It was either turn the phone off or we would, it was agonizing. It was agonizing. So after Jay married me, and then Ashley did not like it and her mother didn't like it, so he gave me divorce papers in June. So from March to June, and that's when I went because I didn't know where I was going to go, not having any idea how to have any kind of money management. I was working on a contingent basis, not like when TR needed casting, I was there, but it wasn't daily like further on. And that's when I went to go stay with my mother and found out she had been relapsed on crack cocaine watching Taylor at 3 years old. So my world came crashing down at that point. Jay, of course, rescued me and got Taylor and I like this one room efficiency in Hollywood, Florida. And he eventually moved out into his own place. I don't think he went back to Ellen's after we were first married, but he was there all the time. He would say, well, I'm doing it for Ashley. Now I knew that he was just living kind of a lie, saying I'm not with Marni, but being with me. So it was very, very crazy. And he was still seeing Taylor went like all the time, even though we weren't together. He still made a point to be with Taylor because that's his daughter. So I never even like talked about this before, but Jay, my husband, had to adopt his own daughter legally because when we got married the second time, and I don't want to give too much away because this is such good stories in my book, but the hell I went through to get there. When we were going to get married the second time, it's now 2004, a year later, and we went to go visit. You know, the mean lady I always reference when I talk about it, the one who's always spoken down to me and like, that's what you're wearing. And what's the color of your sky, Marni? And you wrote my dad's name wrong in your book. Just the nastiest woman. But I didn't know her then, really. But we were going to visit them on a Sunday, which was very rare for Jay and I to be together on a Sunday because he was with Ashley, his daughter. And we drove by in this neighborhood in Cooper City, Florida, and a house went up for sale. Now, Taylor was 4. I never had lived in a house. My dream was just a house in the suburbs with a pool. To me, growing up and seeing families like that was normalcy, but I didn't understand you have to be healed. You can still get the house with the pool in the suburbs, but if you're not happy, then kind of wasting your time. But I mean, it may not be as a happy ending after, happy ever after as you would like it to be, because that's just an external validation and a house cannot cure your brain and your heart. But when Jay and I were about to get married, we were going to go to Palm Beach and do it on the beach and then I went to Macy's and bought this like little dress. And where I used to live in Aventura, Florida, it was like this perimeter, 3.3 mile around a golf course and buildings that was like the walking circle. And I did that daily. And so Jay dropped me off at my car so I could go walk the circle. And he said to me, I can't marry you tomorrow. My mother won't give me the down payment for the house. And drove away and turned his phone off. And then I collapsed. I do not remember what happened after that. It is complete blackout. I do know that a month later, we did get married in the house that we bought and lived there and raised our children for almost 20 years. And the hell that I went through to get there, I fought for that friggin' fairy tale. And, you know, there was not, we did such family fun things. My reactions with meeting people, I either love them or they can go fuck themselves. So that was always like erratic. My compulsions, if we had somewhere to go and I didn't have my eyelash curler and the way I would freak out over things. But my marriage, it started off as a lie. So there was a lot of times where there was mistrust, not that Jay was cheating on me by any means, but I just didn't believe anything. Where are you? Really? I don't believe you. And I got very mistrusting. And Jay would do things that would justify me not to believe him. I had to depend on him for every dime. So it was asking like, Daddy, may I have money? And then if I didn't get enough, I would take. And it caused so much unnecessary. Well, I needed to go through it, but I see how unhealed I was and how it could destroy you going through life, not being aware of what's going on within. Because if you can't feel it, you can't heal it. You have to be aware and take accountability of what's going on with you. We were both wrong. We were both wrong on so many levels that we had such, I never lived in like a neighborhood or a house. So like when it was Halloween's and Christmas, and I just went so overboard, and I just loved having Taylor and Noah having the most simple, if you can call my world simple, life from the hell that I went through and all the crazy distorted abandonment and different elementary schools and my mother's marriages. So to give Taylor and Noah that simplicity the best I could was just wonderful. And then in 2017, when I was diagnosed with ADHD at 47, and that's when that was the pivotal changing moment, I believe, in my marriage that led to the downfall, the most horrific divorce, but then the most romantic when he proposed again. And I'm going to continue this Monday and motivate you guys, because you're not going to believe, this isn't even in my book, the part that I stopped my book in the end of 2019. So what happened between 2020 and now is just, I can't believe I'm alive. That's all I could say. I am just a human friggin' walking miracle. And you guys are too, because you're still here and you have survived so much of your horrific, traumatic, hard days. And on that note, guys, have a fabulous Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Do one small thing for yourself. One thing, 5 extra minutes for yourself, 5 minutes to take a walk outside. Go see a movie by yourself. Go to not Target, but go somewhere and walk around, and just something to make yourself feel good. It is not selfish. It is necessary for you to take care of you. Your cup is not full. You can't help anybody else's cup. So remember to check me out on YouTube, Fabulously Flawed, with my videos and more inspirational, motivational talks and inspiring words of wisdom. And my TikTok shop Marni Inspires, which of course, more be a stiletto in a world of flats, great wall art, less bitter, more glitter, all of my affirmations on products. Seriously, it's adorable. And remember to never, ever let anyone burst your bubble. And I just love saying that word bubble for some reason. And never, ever, 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 ever let anyone dull your sparkle. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll talk to you Monday.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Fabulously Flawed. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, we're so glad you're here, and we hope you'll come back Monday through Friday for another serving of empowerment, motivation, and inspiration. We'll catch you next time on Fabulously Flawed.